Hi and welcome to the video. Today I'm going to show you how to export a Microsoft project file to the IPMDAR format, which is JSON. So let's get started. Now I know there's a lot of acronyms, so I'll try to limit this video to less than maybe 35. So first of all, what is the IPMDAR? AAP, formerly known as PARCA, which is part of the U.S. Department of Defense, used to require the submission of an IPMR. It was a report that contained information for tracking and forecasting progress on DoD acquisition contracts. The IPMR format, which was in XML, was replaced by the IPMDAR, which was in JSON. Don't worry about the specifics of XML and JSON, it's not that important. The IPMDAR was updated and renamed to the IPMDAR. It's still a JSON file, but it has a new name and some improvements. AAP released this format via two documents, a DEI, Data Exchange Instructions, and an FFS, File Format Specification. Both documents are available on the AAP EVM Division's website. I think it'd be a good idea to download them. They will help you with your exports. So the tool that we're going to use for this export is Steelray Project Exporter for IPMDAR. It's installed as an add-in to Microsoft Project, and it appears in Microsoft Project in the Steelray menu. Of course, the first step is to have a schedule that you wish to export open in Microsoft Project. You should be running Microsoft Project 2013 or newer, and for large schedules, you really should be running the 64-bit version of Project, or you could run out of memory. So in the Steelray menu, click on Export IPMDAR. Now, we wish it were that simple and you were done at this point, but the IPMDAR standard has some required fields that must be provided by you. The first one is the end of the reporting period. The second thing needed is information about the contract and program. So you'll click the Add New link to set this up. Now you might wonder what all these fields are, and this is where I'll refer you to the DEI and FFS, those two documents I mentioned earlier. Specific to this form, look at the Dataset Metadata table in the DEI, which describes each field for you, and the corresponding dataset metadata table in the FFS, which tells you whether the field is optional or required. Optional is what nullable means in this table. And you'll see what kind of data the fields are as well. I know it's confusing, but we didn't make the standard, and we do a lot of checking for you when you try to export it. If you miss something important, we'll display a list of warnings or errors for you. And we automatically fix some problems for you, like trailing spaces. So the third thing needed is a data mapping. Now, technically, only one data mapping is absolutely required in the output file. To map it, click on the Add New link if you don't have an existing mapping, or, like me, edit if you do. And then go to the Task Fields tab. You'll want to map the planning level to a custom field in Project. I've used Text 5 to specify the planning level, so I've told Exporter where to find those values and how they map to what needs to be in the output file. Now, one note about the checkbox at the bottom. If you leave the box unchecked, blank values in the project file won't be mapped to anything in the output file, and that's fine. Check the box and you can tell Exporter to use a default mapping when it encounters a blank value. Okay, so you've got your data mapping. The last thing you'll need to provide is where Exporter should create the output file. You got this, right? The final step, click the Export button. Exporter will create a zip file for you that contains the JSON files that make up the schedule portion of the IPMDAR. And that's it. We hope your export goes well. And of course, if you need help, start at the Exporter support website. Thanks for watching.